Okay. Pay attention now, okay? I need to focus myself. All right. Here we go. I'm going to grab green and orange. All right. Odds and converting odds to probability, but let's focus on odds first and foremost. Odds are similar to probability, but highlight this please, does not show the total number of outcomes. That's what is odd about odds, that it does not give you the total number of outcomes like probability would have done, right? Odds compare the number of desired, right? You compare desired to undesired, right? Outcomes. And there's several ways of talking about them, okay? So you will see that I go desired events to, like the colon stands for to. This compared to that. Not now, guys. Happening to not happening. Favor to against, right? So you're always comparing it happening and it not happening. Okay? And so that's what makes it different. So watch this. When we write two probability, we can write two probabilities from the odds we are given. So watch this. If you're given odds, and you will recognize that by the colon there, right? Let's say I'm just going to use my two colors here. Ready? I think it's going to help you big time. If you have the odds like that and it says, hey, what's the probability in favor of snow? I'm going to highlight that in green. And I'm going to highlight the against. I'm going to use orange. You use whatever you have, right? So if you want to transfer that to probability for both of them, watch this. Either probability of snow or against snow. What do we do in the denominator for both of them? We add these up and put them in the denominator for both of them. And this is what I call, now you have the total number of outcomes. Same thing here. When you add those two numbers together, you actually get the total number of outcomes that were considered here. But if you want probability of snow, then you do not put the number of snow at the top, so the left number of my odds, right? If you want the probability against snow, you put against on the top there. Watch this. I'm actually going to make it even clearer. I brought that number there. And for this one, I brought the number there. I'm going to use these in a little bit. For now, I'm going to put them away. So this might confuse you right now, but let's do a few examples and then hopefully it will make more sense. Okay. There we go. Watch this. The odds of the Jets winning. Here I'm using my regular highlighter. You should right away notice, okay, not probability, but odds. The odds of the Jets winning. Okay. Odds of what? Winning the next game are depicted there. Immediately, you look at odds and you look of winning. That tells you that the first number, this is winning to not winning. I will just go not win. So winning, losing, right? So that's what these numbers should tell you. So explain what these numbers represent. So this is what I'm going to say here. Out of every 10 games, where do I get the 10 from? I added them, right? 8 and 2. Like if you consider all the games that are considered in this case, out of every 10 games, the Jets are expected to win 8 and lose 2. That's what this statement here, 8-2, that's what that's saying. Okay. It's the odds of winning. And watch this. State the odds against the Jets winning. Odds against. So let's make sure we understand. Odds for winning was the one we just had there, 8-2. But if you want the odds against winning, watch what you do. You just flip this. I'm going to go arrow like this, arrow like that. So you would actually just reverse that statement. Okay. Odds against winning. So literally the number of wins are against you. Like I always look at it from left to right, and it's over here. So the win is here, and the not win is now on the left side. And I will grab my green highlighter, and in this case, the Jets winning in favor is there, but when it says against winning, you put it on the other side of the colon. Watch this. State the probability of the Jets winning the next game. So probability of win. So first of all, let's write this down here. Make sure that you write it down here. So we know that based on the statement above, that is what the odds represent, right? So if you want probability of win, guys, the first thing you're going to do is this. You're looking up, right? 8 plus 2 goes down here. You're going to add those two numbers up, and that's going to be the denominator for you. At least you're halfway there now. You're halfway there. And if you want probability of win, you need to grab this one. You need to grab the 8. And so that is 8 over 10. Okay. And that is 0.8, which is also 80%, yes. I can put equals there because there's no rounding issues. They're all the same. However, the probability of the Jets losing, it's basically not winning. You do the same thing. 8 plus 2, like I'm going back to I'm going to box this in. These are the odds, right? That's what I go by. So 8 plus 2 is still in the denominator, but now I want not winning, the probability of not winning. So you just go 2 like that, which is 2 out of 10, which is 0.2, which is 20%. And you realize, hey, probability of winning and not winning is still 100%, just like it always has been. And yes, that's what it should be. I'm going to highlight even more here. Seriously, right? So all the 2's, I'm just going to highlight that in the same color that I used up there for against. And all the 8's will get a green. I forgot one. This should be orange here. There. So the first thing you're going to do if you turn odds to probability is to add up the numbers, all right? Still have some time, so I'll take advantage of that. Remember, we had 9 classes total, so 8, and after today, just 7 left. So I want to cover as much as I can. So let's go to the next page here, page 17, and practice a little bit more here. You want to try solo, or do you want me to do a couple more? Solo? Nah. Okay, let me do a couple. Let me do just a couple here. Use a spinner to answer the following. Watch carefully what I do. I kind of mix probability and odds here. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total, right? My total is 8 sections, right? If I were you, I would wait a little bit, just a little bit, because I'll show you some tricks. I want you to know, right, the odds. Some students give me a probability when it's supposed to be odds, right? So the odds, right away you're like, okay, got it. I'm going to make sure that's odds. What are the odds of the spinner landing on green? Don't write numbers just yet. You're going to go green, and what goes on the other side? Not green. Do you remember what I said about not, right? What I do with that? Same thing. How many greens? 1, 2. 2 greens. And on the other side, what am I going to do? 8 minus 2. Does that make sense? I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Dirksen. It's 2 to 6. So you're saying out of the 8 sections, 2 are green, 6 are not green. You should not have an 8 in here at all. Okay, there's no total here ever. So if you had 10 sections, there should be no 10 in here, but they should add up to 10. Okay, can you reduce this, guys? You remember reducing odds? I don't know if you did that. Same as fractions. So I just go divided by 2, divided by 2. So that'd be 1 to 3. You can put or in between. I don't reduce them very often, but it still works the same as fractions, exactly the same way. Okay. Watch this. The probability of the spinner landing on green. Can we forget about the spinner for a bit? Imagine it's not there right now. And all you have is you have this, you have the odds. The probability of green, what are you going to do with the 2 numbers? Anyone? If you turn this into a probability, you're going to go 2 plus 6, right? Like you grab these 2 numbers, and then at the top, you're going to say, hey, I want green, so it's 2. So that'd be 2 out of 8. That is the probability of that happening. And if you want to just one more time highlight, right, where did you get these numbers from? Okay. I got them from my original, this one here. Could you have used the 1 to 3? Absolutely. 1 to 3 is fine as well. And I will say this, it should all jive. You should be able to get the probability from the diagram, but you should also be able to take it, the probability from the odds that you just wrote, right? So I will actually make an arrow, right, that I turned it into a probability, which is 2 to 8. 2 over 8. 2 over 8. Okay. So give it a try. Even if you're a bit stuck, just put a number down for now. Just put a number, like whatever you think it should be. And double, triple check. Cross-reference. And you don't have to stop at 17, but I'm going to give you some time and correct 17, and we keep going. But you're going to promise me you're not going to give up. Okay, here we go. I actually don't have the answer, so you might have to correct me. The odds of the spinner landing on red. So understand red, not red. Okay, you can also say this, R, not R, same thing. Okay, so some textbooks use different notation. You should be comfortable with it. So how many reds do we have? 3, right? 3 reds. And I choose to do it this way just because these numbers could be big later on, right? So 3 to 5 would be your answer here. And then I'm using the probability, I'm using my odds, probability of red. You don't have to write this part here. That'd be 3 over 3 plus 5. So that's 3 over 8. Boom, done. See how they're different, right? Shows total, does not show total, right? That's how they're different. Odds against, what does that against mean again? Landing on yellow. Listen carefully because I will do this quite often. If it's odds against yellow, put yellow against you. It's almost like you're on this side and this is a fence, right? And it's against. So you want that event over on this side. That means that not yellow goes here. Okay. So that's why you put yellow there, because it's against. So then which number do I put down first, you might ask? I put the event itself that I want, yellow. So how many yellows? I see 1 yellow. And then on this side where it says not yellow, I'm going to go 8 minus 1. So it's 7 to 1. Okay? 7 to 1. I did this first, right? I find the event and then the not, I just subtract. Right? So then I use this probability of, probability against landing on yellow. Okay, I see what's happening. So not yellow. So that means that I'm going to go 7 plus 1 for sure. And this 7 is actually what I'm after. So that'd be 7 over 8. Like that. I didn't want to spin you too much. The spinner is already there, but I could have switched the wording. You would have to really think hard before you write down your answers, okay? The odds in favor of it landing on yellow. That means yellow, not yellow. And some of you are like, yeah, I get it already. You don't have to do more, right? 1 to 7 like this. I'm just going to basically flip this one because we're talking the same event, just in favor now. Probability of landing on yellow, no problem. That's 1 over 8, right? Because I just added the bottom. And I wanted yellow on here. I could have gotten it from here. If not yellow is 7 out of 8, then yellow is 1 out of 8, right? Same idea. But we're not done yet. You want to do more. Are you still copying, Joseph?
Oh, no.
You're sure? Yeah. Why are you rushing, Mr. Dirksen? Are you going somewhere? I'm actually not going anywhere. Um, a 12-sided die. I don't know. I think you should be able to do that. Hmm. I want to see. I think I'm just gonna say 18, and then you're done. You do page 18. You can do whatever you want after. I mean, within reason.